When Caleb Miligan set out to revive his criminal instincts in Emmerdale, he never imagined his latest scheme would uncover something deeply disturbing. A few weeks earlier, the businessman suffered a humiliating setback after being tricked by Archie, the teenage son of Jai Sharma. Determined to prove he hasn't lost his touch, Caleb launches a counterfeit trainer business in an attempt to rebuild his confidence. Kerry Wyatt joins him as his partner, helping organize fresh deliveries in scenes set to air soon. As Beowulf looks on from the staff break area, Caleb and Kerry stumble across a sewn-in label inside one of the trainers bearing the chilling message, "Help me." Shocked by the discovery, Kerry insists Caleb should immediately report the matter to the police. Later, Kerry catches Bear examining the trainer in the office. She is surprised by his furious response after discovering Caleb has still not alerted the authorities. Memories of his own experience of being forced into modern slavery on a farm leave Bear deeply affected, and he doesn't hold back as he confronts Caleb over the situation. Although Caleb assures Kerry that he has contacted the police, his focus soon shifts when Cami Hadid explains the large profit margins between branded and unbranded vehicle parts. After hearing Cami's advice, Caleb tells Kerry they could earn serious money by branching out into selling car parts. Caleb encourages Kerry to consider the new venture, but she has serious doubts. Their counterfeit footwear business has already created enough trouble, leaving her worried that another illegal operation could end the same way. Laura Norton revealed that Kerry has now developed a real appetite for this type of work and is becoming increasingly capable, hinting that the storyline will soon become even more intense. She also explained that Kerry has learned how to earn Caleb's respect, adding that she and William Ash have loved working together. According to Laura, bringing together two characters who wouldn't usually share storylines creates fresh, entertaining scenes and makes the partnership especially enjoyable to watch. Emmerdale fans mock Serena Sugden's storyline as viewers call it far-fetched. Emmerdale viewers have criticised a recent Serena Sugden storyline, with many arguing that one particular development feels unrealistic. Some fans even described the plot as silly after the newcomer's latest scenes. Serena arrived in the ITV soap last month to support Charity Dingle, who has been struggling to recover from the traumatic sexual assault she suffered at the hands of Dr. Todd. Charity had also been living under the strain of blackmail surrounding the true parentage of Layla Sugden. The pair quickly formed a close friendship, leading Serena to visit the village. During her arrival, she also revealed to Robert Sugden that her grandfather was related to Robert's father's side of the family. After settling into village life, Serena soon built friendships with local residents while reconnecting with members of her extended family. Not long afterwards, she secured a job serving behind the bar at the Woolpack. However, the speed at which Serena found employment has frustrated many viewers who believe the storyline lacks credibility. Taking to social media, one fan questioned how Serena managed to get a bar job so quickly. Another dismissed the plot as far-fetched, while a third simply labelled it silly. Others echoed the criticism, with one viewer admitting they had been thinking exactly the same thing. Another fan joked that their daughter had pointed out how easily characters in both Emmerdale and Coronation Street seem to find work, saying they only have to walk into the local pub before being offered a job. Speaking about joining the long-running soap, Casey Al-Shaksi said, "Becoming part of the Sugden family felt incredibly special," and described it as being welcomed into a small piece of the programme's history. She added that Serena will share scenes with a wide variety of characters, and said she is excited to work alongside many of the show's legendary performers. The actress also hinted that Serena is a character audiences will either love or love to hate, promising plenty of entertaining moments ahead. Describing Serena's personality, Casey explained that she often speaks before thinking, has a loud and outspoken nature, and possesses both good and flawed qualities. She also teased that although Serena appears to have joined a happy family, viewers should not assume everything is as perfect as it seems. Emmerdale brings back major 2025 storyline as Kyle is left heartbroken. Long-buried secrets have resurfaced in Emmerdale, leaving Kyle devastated after learning the truth about Graham's involvement in the events surrounding his mother Amy's death during Thursday's 2nd of July episode. The shocking revelation began when Lydia discovered Graham's watch among Kyle's belongings, after previously noticing him wearing it when Joe drew attention to it. When Kane and Moira questioned Kyle about the watch, he admitted Graham had given it to him, but avoided explaining the real reason behind the gift. Viewers may remember that Graham presented Kyle with his old army watch after discovering he was responsible for the fire at Emmerdale Farm. Kane also started to believe Graham had been encouraging other changes in Kyle's behaviour, including his sudden enthusiasm for joining the cadets. Wanting answers, Kane confronted Graham directly, who eventually admitted Kyle had been struggling emotionally and was trying to regain a sense of control following the traumatic events of the previous year. Kyle has endured a series of painful experiences, including Kane's cancer battle, Moira's time in prison, and losing his home after Robert Sugden took over. However, none of those hardships compared to the death of his mother. Amy Wyatt lost her life following the devastating Valentine's Day limousine crash in 2025, a tragedy that had a lasting impact on the entire village. Armed with the truth, Kane returned home determined to rebuild his relationship with Kyle, but their conversation quickly turned into a heated argument. Kyle defended Graham, insisting he was nothing like the Tate family, only for Kane to respond that Graham was even worse. The confrontation intensified when Kyle admitted Graham had been the only person who had truly been there for him since Amy died. Unable to keep the secret any longer, Kane finally revealed that Graham had been protecting Joe Tate, the man whose actions ultimately led to Amy's death. Amy was one of 3 victims who died as a result of the Valentine's Day limousine disaster, alongside Susie Merton and Layla Harding. Although she initially survived the crash, she later fell through the frozen lake and eventually suffered cardiac arrest in hospital after severe hypothermia. The tragic accident happened when Charity Dingle swerved the limousine to avoid hitting her son Noah, who had wandered into the road. At the time, nobody understood why Noah had been alone. It was later revealed that Joe had abducted and drugged his half-brother before keeping him captive inside a private hospital. Joe had become desperate to find a kidney donor after being diagnosed with chronic kidney disease and mistakenly believed Noah could be a match. When tests proved otherwise, he abandoned Noah by the roadside, setting in motion the events that ended in the fatal crash. Despite his role in the tragedy, Joe avoided criminal charges after the coroner ruled the deaths accidental, leaving investigators without enough evidence to connect him directly to the incident. In the months that followed, Charity, Kerry and Matty each uncovered Joe's involvement, but were unable to gather the proof needed to bring him to justice. Joe later went on to steal Caleb's kidney after discovering he was a compatible donor. Kane's confession has now completely shattered Kyle's trust. After believing Graham was someone he could rely on, Kyle has discovered he was secretly protecting the man responsible for the chain of events that claimed Amy's life. Upcoming episodes will see Kyle confront Graham in search of the full truth, but with emotions running high, the encounter threatens to end in disaster. Emmerdale continues on Friday 3rd of July at 7:45 p.m. on ITV.